Since the Switch's release, I've played a lot of fun 2D platformers, and today I'll be listing the best. But before continuing, I need to make sure the following is clear. I only include games I actually played and finished during the 8 years of owning my Nintendo Switch console, meaning great platformers like Celeste will not be included. Also, I try to include games that didn't branch out much from the 2D platformer genre and fit the following criteria: side-scrolling or occasionally vertical 2D movement, a primary focus on platforming mechanics such as running, jumping, climbing, and avoiding hazards, mainly level-based or stage progression, platforming as the main gameplay loop, not a secondary mechanic. This means puzzle platformers such as Unravel 2 or Metroidvanias like Metroid Dread will not be on this list either. So, with this information laid out, let's jump on the best 2D platformers I've played fully on the Nintendo Switch. Wonder Boy: The Dragon's Trap is a 2D platformer and a remake of Wonder Boy 3 released all the way back in 1989. You control a cursed knight that will gradually gain the ability to transform into different animals with different skills needed in his adventure. While the existing platform is not challenging, it's still a great game for fans of the genre to try out. This was one of the few games I bought in early 2018 during a spring sale, and I remember being hooked for days. And after replaying it again for this list, I can still confirm that it's still one of the most beautiful games on the system with its fantastic hand-drawn graphics. As mentioned previously, I bought a few games during spring sale of 2018, and Mighty Gunvolt Burst was one of them too. I had played the original game on the Nintendo 3DS and was surprised to see a retro-inspired version that closely resembled the original Mega Man games. It has everything you want in a platformer, such as tight jumps that require some skill to land safely, plenty of hazards and enemies to avoid, unique levels, and several boss fights to further test your skills. If you're a fan of retro Mega Man games, then you really need to try this one. While we're on the topic, Mega Man 11 is a great experience. Capcom did a great job on trying to modernize a series that was stale for a while with its double gear system. With this system, you can either boost your attacks, making it easier to dispatch your enemies, or slow down time to dodge deadly attacks. Other than this, everything you expect from a Mega Man game is present, from having a boss level select screen to power-ups, energy tanks, and everything else that makes this series so iconic. The issue I have with this game is that it was released in 2018 and there's no news about Mega Man 12 in the horizon. Iron Meat was one of my highlights of 2024, and it still amazes me how much polish this Contra-style game has. From its horrific pixel art to its precise shooting and tight platforming, there is no key mechanic in Iron Meat that feels off. It's a game worth playing, whether solo or with a friend in co-op. While it's true that the game is a bit on the short side, the unlockables, mirror mode and hard mode offer enough incentive to keep playing and mastering it even after the credits roll. From this point forward, I had a really hard time with the ranking, and I had to include New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe in the 7th spot. I was never a big fan of Super Mario growing up and only became a fan with Mario Odyssey. Since I loved it, I decided that I needed to play New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, and to my surprise, it was an amazing experience with great platforming like any other Mario game. But despite this, I couldn't shake the feeling that something was missing. It's undeniably fun, but it doesn't bring anything truly new to the table like the title suggests. It's fun, and I'll grab a couple of friends to play it at any time, but this issue keeps this game from climbing higher on the list.
Oh yeah, Mario time!
Sonic the Hedgehog has been one of my favorite franchises ever since I got my hands on Sonic Jam for the Sega Saturn, and I consider Sonic Mania to be one of the best 2D Sonic games ever made, right after Sonic 3. It masterfully captures the Genesis era with great level design and nostalgic soundtrack, returning characters like Ray and Might, and the so beloved momentum-based platforming that we've been missing from previous Sonic titles like Sonic Forces. However, as a longtime fan, it always felt like something was also missing. While I love the throwback to previous stages, I've played those to death already. And just for that reason alone, I'd love to see a Sonic Mania with all brand new stages instead, since those were the ones I got more enjoyment out of. But looking at Sega's plan for our favorite hedgehog, this dream of mine seems far off. This might come as a surprise, but Mega Man Zero ZX Collection is one of the best 2D platform collections you can get on the Nintendo Switch, although this is one of the rare cases where I'm being a bit biased, since I have loved Zero since the GBA era. I had played every single game in this collection before, apart from ZX, and still had a blast replaying them again. Everything feels as good as I remember, from the wall jumping to the dashing, the tight platforming, and the memorable boss fights. Since I hadn't played ZX before, I was surprised to find out that both games in the collection are full-blown Metroidvanias. They represent a gray area in my definition of a 2D platformer, but the platforming in this game is so satisfying that I'll just let it slide. Not to mention, the other 4 games in this collection are some of the best Mega Man games you can still play today. I loved SteamWorld Dig on the 3DS and was ecstatic to find out a sequel was planned and that it would be released on the Nintendo Switch. When looking at SteamWorld Dig 2, you wouldn't call it a traditional 2D platformer, since it gives a lot of focus to its digging mechanics while exploring its seemingly connected areas just like a Metroidvania. However, the platforming in this game is too good not to be included. There are some platform challenges that will test your skills and make sure you know how to utilize each tool correctly, such as the grappling hook and the jetpack, which will extend and evolve its already tight platforming. And to top it off, features a great story wrapped in mystery that gets better the deeper you dig, giving this great game a depth that other games on this list just do not have. After Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, I had no idea what else Nintendo could do with this franchise, but then comes Super Mario Bros. Wonder and revives my love for 2D platformers again. If it wasn't for this game, I wouldn't even be making this list. The introduction of the Wonder Flowers make this game unpredictable on the first playthrough. You never know what will happen when interacting with one, from warping pipes to moving ground to even changing the physics of the game and opening up new paths. Luckily, Mario controls as good as ever, which helps a lot when dealing with this unpredictability. The other aspect that makes this game a standout for me is the charm it has. Mario and its friends got a major glow-up, making sure that every move they make exudes character, something that was gravely missing in New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe. It's definitely the best first-party 2D platformer on the Nintendo Switch, but it wasn't enough to take my number 1 spot, which has been my most favorite platformer ever since 2014. I think it's fitting for a game like Shovel Knight to take the number 1 spot. When I think about 2D platformers, 2 games come to mind: Super Mario Bros. And Mega Man. If you combine this, you get the love letter to the NES era of platformers that is Shovel Knight. Also, apart from being a great platformer, it's also a great game with a lot of content to unravel, with different campaigns and characters. No matter the character you choose, most of their kit will revolve around platforming through the game, from Shovel Knight's shovel to Spectre Knight's scythe and Plague Knight's bombs. I bought this game day 1 on the Nintendo 3DS and it was a blast seeing all the updates this game got, making it, in my opinion, the best indie game platformer out there and the best 2D platformer I've personally played, again on the Nintendo Switch. Thank you so much for watching until the end of my 4th video. I barely made it this week due to how busy I was with my 9 to 5, but here we are. If you enjoyed this video, consider liking and subscribing for more in the future. As usual, if everything goes well, I'll be seeing you again next week with brand new content.